So last up we have earth signs. So if you are a Capricorn, a Virgo or a Taurus, sun or rising sign, then this is the reading and the guidance for you for February. And hopefully this just really gives you some guidance and some focus for the month ahead. Now, the first thing I'm really picking up on here, and this is a mixture of tarot cards and also I'm a channel for spirit guides, so I get a lot of messages coming through to share. And the first thing I'm really picking up on is I want to use the right words, a distracted energy right now. Like, not necessarily overwhelmed in the amount of things that you have on, but just like a lot of different thoughts, or like being pulled in different directions, or feeling like a lack of clarity. Like, that's what I'm really picking up on. And so it might be that, you know, whether this is in business, career, work, life in general, it might just be that you don't feel like you have a lot of clarity. Like you might feel like there's a lot going on, and you're a bit overwhelmed with all of that. And the first message that comes through here for you is to actually trust that you know more than you think you know right now. And just from an energetic perspective, when we are feeling like we don't have clarity, when we feel like we have no idea what's going on, essentially, like when we feel like a bit overwhelmed, when we feel like there's either too many options or not enough options, we're not sure what we're doing, whenever we have this like lack of clarity, we are just essentially breeding more lack of clarity. So we're just going to constantly feel almost like worse and worse the more we feel this way. And what I can feel you need to do is anchor into what you do know. So I can feel like a really great exercise, like this is something that I would give clients when they feel this way, is to like write down all the things that you do know. So let's say, for example, you've got a business, right, or like a career, and you've got a lot of options and you're not sure what direction to go, or you're being pulled in different paths. Like, write down what you do know for sure. Really anchor into what you do know, what you have certainty on. Use this in whatever area of life it might be relating to, but this is going to start to bring you into more of an anchored, solid energy, and more of an energy that's like, no, I actually do have more clarity than I think. Because at the moment, it's kind of like you're in a negative spiral of lack of clarity, and you need to get back on the other direction. Like, and you do know more than you think you know, and that's like what just kept coming through. So it's like, write it down so that you see what you do know, what you do have clarity on, and then you can kind of start to feel more anchored and start to attract in more clarity. Right now, it kind of feels like it's going in the other direction. So the first thing that's coming through for you is to really anchor into what you do know. Like, you know more than you realize. And this is something I always find as well when I'm talking to people through this. It's like, as soon as you start to think what you do know, you're like, oh, I actually do have a lot of clarity, you know. But as soon as we're in that unclear energy, it just sends us into a very ungrounded, very unrooted, a very unanchored energy that just creates more and more and more lack of clarity. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, I can feel that for whatever reason, you want to be leaning and calling in and moving towards a really excited energy this month. Like, what can you get excited about? This feels like a really supportive energy for you right now. So it might be that there's some ideas or thoughts or just things that you maybe haven't explored, but that feel quite exciting. Like, this is a huge permission slip to lean towards those and to start moving towards those. But even with what you're doing, maybe there's nothing new. Like, how can you get more excitement? How can you feel more excited about things? Like, you're really being asked to cultivate this energy right now. For whatever reason, excitement is good for you at this moment in time. And so whatever you need to create more of that in your life, or to feel more of that into your life, is fully advised. And I have no idea why, but you know what I do feel is that when we are in an excited, hopeful, expansive energy, obviously it's just going to breed abundance, success, joy, like all of the good things, right? Because it is a really high frequency, and it's a frequency of hope, it's a frequency of future, and that's always a good thing. So from an energetic perspective, it makes sense why this might be good for you, but it's just a really interesting time that you're being asked to step into this right now. The next thing that was coming through for you was, and I personally love this because like this is obviously what I talk about all the time, but you can really lean on the magic in your life more, meaning lean more into how supported and looked after you are with energy and with spirit. So it's about, and this has come through for a couple of the other ones as well, it's about less gripping, less controlling, and more like letting, like I said, spirit or energy to do a lot of the work for you. But that can only come in and happen when you loosen your grip. Like the words that kept coming through for earth signs specifically was like, let the magic in, like let the magic in, like trust that it's there. Trust that energy is so supportive. You don't have to do everything through sheer force. You don't have to do everything through sheer forcing and pushing and fighting and making it happen, and masculine energy. Like, you can be magnetic. Things can happen for you. You can meet the perfect people at the perfect time. You can have the results just coming in without you doing anything. Like, this is all possible when you are leaning more into the magic and, you know, taking your foot off you having to do it all yourself. You're being really asked to lean into this a lot more than normal right now. And I love this because this is obviously everything I talk about. So you're really being asked to open up to this a lot more. And I have a lot of resources for this. Like I have a lot of meditations that just help shift your energy. They help to clear your energy field. They help you to increase your vibration, depending when you're watching this, but like the day of the new moon, so it does depend when you're seeing this, but I have a group healing happening, which is all about helping your energy, stepping into a brand new energy. So like that could be great for you. It's like supporting your energy so that you are your most magnetic self, and you're allowing spirit and energy to do its thing that it's doing anyway, but like, you know, you have to be working with it in order for it to work for you, not against you, right? So how can you start leaning into that more? How can you start relying on that more? How can you start allowing that to have a bigger part in your life? Right now, like you might tap into it every now and then, but like, are you really using it as the powerful resource that it is? The same with spirit guides, right? Like starting to work with your guides is hands down one of like the best life hacks that exist. Like your guides can help you in so many ways, and it's like, you know, you might be doing that once a month or every now and then. You might be like pulling some cards or tuning into them, or, you know, trying to communicate with them, but like, are you really using them to their capacity? And they can help you so much. Like, are you really using energy and spirit as a huge resource in your life? Because if you're not, you should be, because you're missing a trick. And it is honestly the biggest life hack to exist. So this is just like a huge bit of guidance for you to let the magic in. You know, don't treat it as a novelty, treat it as a huge resource in life. And that you don't have to do as much. Like I said, you don't have to push, you don't have to force, you don't have to make things happen as much. You can take more of a step back. You can just take inspired action that feels good, and still have the same results. That's literally the power of energy and working with spirit. So this is a big one. And then the last thing that came through was, and this kind of goes into energy work a little bit, but like welcoming more balance and harmony into your life. So if you do this, you will start to see more results happening just because of your magnetism, because this will increase your magnetism. But you are being asked to have more harmony, more balance in your life. Like I pulled the King of Cups and the Temperance card. And these are both very, very, very harmonic, balanced energies. Like you're being asked to really bring this so much more into your life. And so like asking yourself, where are you maybe out of balance right now? Where are you, or where could you invite more balance, more peace, more harmony, more tranquility? Like how can you balance that out in your life right now? So that is something else to really start thinking about, and that will massively support, you know, what I just said before about starting to work with energy. Like when you are balanced and in harmony, you're going to be so much more in alignment, you're going to be so much more magnetic. So it's kind of a win-win. So yeah, that's another focus for you. So the 4 things were, like if you are feeling distracted and a little bit like there's a lot of energies going on, a lot of overwhelm potentially, then anchor into what you do know. Really start to cultivate that energy and see how much changes and how different you feel from there, and how much more clarity you have from there. What can you get excited about? Start cultivating excited energy. Let the magic in, let spirit and energy work for you, and then start to create more balance and more harmony in your life as well. So those are the 4 things. So yeah, let me know how this feels for you in the comments, and as always, I'm sending you so much love.